Work. I'm live. Probably going to take a while for people to show up. There it is. Someone's here. Hello. That is a creepy ass little picture you got there. Two people are in here. That's cool. Oh, covering it up. So, I'm going to set this thing up somewhere. God, it's weird being in a sailboat. That's not the workshop. No, this is my sailboat. Let me know if the air conditioner is making too much noise. Got the AC going on right there. And I wasn't expecting people to show up this quick. I don't even know how to. Kind of unprepared. I don't have a tripod or a very good lighting. You can just listen though. I'm gonna grab a beer. Everybody else, grab a beer too. These twist offs? No, they're not. There we go. There we go. I'm on a boat. Yes, need safety glasses to use the bottle opener. Oh, that's funny. So I got to figure this out, how to set this up and get comfortable. Don't think we're going to have too many people here tonight. Let's take you over this way. Sit down on the couch here. All right, if I could just tape you to the thing right there. Over this way. Oops. How's that? 21 people. Going with Corona. Southern climates. We're on vacation. Nah, this really isn't a vacation trip, no. Just came down to dust off my Ryobi tool set. So everybody asks about Ryobi. And yes, I have a full Ryobi cordless combo kit. They work pretty good for just sailboat use. I have not taken the boat to the Virgin Islands yet. Yep. I've been to the Virgin Islands though. Remodel the boat. That's a whole nother YouTube channel. I actually stopped. I'm always working on this thing. Changed the oil today. I changed the heat exchanger boots on the diesel. Does it shape your beard for you? No. This beard here, this serves a purpose. Makes money having a beard. Let's see if we can get this up to 50 people. I guess we'll start going through those questions. I got my laptop set up over here. Let me know if there's a lag or anything, because I'm also using the phone as a hotspot to run the computer over here. No lag. No lag is good. How about the sound? I do have the air conditioner on. I can kick it off if there's too much background noise. No lag is good. How about the background noise? I want this to be as good a quality as we can get here. The sound is cool. Okay, that's good to know. 5 out of 5. Well, next thing is I'm going to try to plug you in so we don't run out of juice. There we go. 30 people. I think it's going to top out at about 30 people. I don't expect too many people. Keep drinking? No, we're not going to. All right, I'll have another drink. He must have been around for the last one. Yeah, well, don't worry. What is his name? Guy with crazy ideas? No, we're not getting too wild out here on the boat tonight. So there's only 32 people here. I've got a lot of the questions right over here, and they are all over the board, from taxes to YouTube. Got a lot of comments on that one video. I've already had to ban 2 people. Isn't that crazy? Let's see. Happy New Year. Just reading through these questions, or you can ask them right here, since there's only, oh, there's 40 people in here now. Let's start. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, banned for what? Oh, making all sorts of crazy threats and just talking a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, there's a lot of haters in the YouTube community. More trolls on YouTube than any other social media platform. Yeah, we're not even at 1,000 subscribers, and I've already had to ban 2. The other channel probably has hundreds and hundreds of people that I've had to ban. Let's just go to the very first comment. On the one, oh, it is. Well, it's I guess when you get to be an influencer, it's kind of strange. I still am kind of small potatoes in the grand scheme of social influencers, but you get almost like in with a crowd, and it's hard to explain. We can go into more detail on that, the business side of YouTube, which is, it's awesome. It's a whole new crazy experience. Alright, we're down to the very first set of comments. We're going to go to the very first actual question. Ice packs. My back is feeling a little bit better today. That's good. 0 degrees when I left, and it's been like 85, 86 degrees down here in Florida. It's kind of crazy. How to structure your business, how you pay yourself. That's a little bit more down the line. Well, we'll ask you guys. 42 people. Are you more interested in? Well, I wanted to start out as why I saw a market, how I know that there is a niche to fill. Where is the actual camera? I'm looking. Looks like I'm looking at up this way. It's weird. You're looking over there. I'd like to talk about the market and the huge void and the huge need for a different group of people doing the home services. Who wants to know about taxes? How you are taxed for your contracting business? I'm taxed as a self-employed individual. That's it. Who said something about? Is that your sailboat from your Florida days? No. Oh, Melissa Hill. You've been quite active lately. This is my second sailboat. When I started, I was on a different sailboat, just in Hollywood, Florida. Fort Lauderdale is where that's where I had stated in the video that the reason the start of this whole entrepreneur, making money, being self-employed started in Florida. And that's where I got most of my business influence, was from some rich ass old dudes living on yachts. No, they weren't living on yachts, living on yachts, living on the ocean. And they saw me and they loved me. It was kind of strange. But I made a ton of money doing handyman work in Fort Lauderdale. A lot. And like, it was kind of, my mind was blown. And they paid in cash. It's crazy having these really, really rich old dudes just handing you envelopes full of thousands of dollars. Let's see here. Oh, someone asked about safety third. What do I mean by that? Safety is not my main priority. Making money is my main priority. People who are in high-risk jobs, safety is not their number one concern. Getting the job done, getting the money, working to get the next job, and then usually around third or fourth, we'll start thinking about safety. There's just not room for it. As I get older and have different responsibilities, safety is taking a little bit higher priority, but it's never number one priority when doing jobs. Here's a good one. Why did you start the business? Did you start doing it on the side? I've always done side work through college, after college, and I saw the market getting ready to turn. It was basically a race to build as many houses as possible. And then when the mortgages changed from prime to subprime and anybody could get a loan, I mean, they were basically, how did it work? There's a home builder, and that home builder has their own mortgage company. That's the one that is traded on the stock market. CTX was the mortgage company who worked for the builder that I worked for. They'd get people in a house, get them approved any way possible, and then sell that loan off to Countrywide was the big one. It bought up all the subprime loans. But I started thinking to myself, man, we're in a race. Every builder in town is in a race to build more houses this year. So the company I was working for in like 2006, 2007-ish, we were building 400 to 500 houses just in one metro area. Nah, no lime. I'm not that. I'm not into that. So I saw it, and I knew that I had to start perfecting my skill set. And I started picking up larger side jobs, tile jobs, small bathroom remodels. And also, all these customers that were buying these houses, because as a superintendent, you are the front person. There's a sales office, but they pass you off to the superintendent. I don't have a fruit cocktail. So the superintendent, I was in contact with the buyers all the time. Weekly, I took them through all sorts of walkthroughs. So they would always ask me, hey, do you know anybody that can change out these ceiling fans? Or we don't like our linoleum or our Formica countertops. You know, we bought a spec home, especially when it got closer to the end. They were just giving houses away. My favorite toothpaste. Come on. Someone's had too much to drink asking about toothpaste. I don't know, Crest? I'd have to go and take a look. I don't know what toothpaste I use. No calls. So that's how I got started. First I saw the market. There's a desperate need for people that were buying all these homes because they wanted to change them instantly. And they always asked me, do you know who can do this? Do you know who can do that? Put in everything from a doggy door, light fixtures. If they bought a house that came with a base light fixture package, I worked for D.R. Horton and Centex Homes. Lennar, I think I interviewed with them. Right out of college, they have all these recruiters come to the university and interview you, and there's 100% job placement. I actually got a job for a commercial builder right out of college, and I didn't stay there. I didn't like it too much. Way too much paperwork, less actual on the job type stuff. My degree is in construction management. So yes, that's the market that I saw. I saw the guys that were doing the work, like building these houses, and they could not be trusted to do warranty calls or service calls to the actual customer. A superintendent had to like physically go there and wait, and, as long as it took for Lurch and Psycho and Tweaker. That's basically the nicknames we had for our electrician, and Tweaker and Psycho were two brothers that were really good drywall patch and match and patch type guys that did wall repairs. But there's a whole warranty sequence after the house is built, and man, you wouldn't believe the people that were building these houses. They're great at their job. There's one guy who would not work during the day. The electrician would not work during daylight hours. He'd bring in lights and a generator. It would only work at night. It was his. That's who Lurch is. Long hairs, like 6'7", 6'8". It was hilarious, yeah. So there's a huge market out there for a professional, not a skilled person yet, just the professional that people trust, can talk to you. They don't mind you, in their house. That's where my market is people who won't hire Lurch and Tweak and Psycho and have them running around their house, around their kids and their family. Okay, that was a good question. Median home value is only $170,000. What's the population? That'd be another question. And what's the industry like around there? What's the main source of employment? It'd be tough. There's a lot of places it would be tough, especially smaller communities. I've got some good friends that have chose to leave the big city. Because if I could do it, I would not live in a city. I don't like living in a city at all. I'd rather either be on a sailboat on a deserted island or somewhere off in the wilderness in a cabin. But the money is in the big cities. Both the two guys that I'm real close with, we talk all the time, can't believe how much money I make doing these simple repairs, and they're building full-on houses and doing really extensive jobs. And they're making $34, $35 an hour. It's not gonna, but the cost of living. So if you can go out and buy a house for $170,000, making $1,000 a week or $1,500 a week, that's kind of the balance. Cost of living, works. Both of my houses are in excess of $550,000. Our rental house that is technically a one-bedroom, but I have two people living in it, is like $525,000 just because of the location. The house I live in, Jesus, I don't even want to know what that would sell for today. It's tempting to cash out, sell both the houses, make a quick $1 million, and go off to Missouri or something, and live in a decent house. Spend $300,000, live in a nice house on some land, but then we don't have any other income. I mean, there's not much industry out there. Tim, that's great. 75 to 100 bucks an hour. One other thing I've mentioned many times is people ask, well, how do you know how much to charge? How do you know how much to charge that? I go, well, you've got to do the market research. What is market research? You get on the internet and you just type in handyman in your town, and a lot of the legit handyman services will have a website with their hourly rate posted. And there's dozens and dozens of them where I live, and $85 to $95 an hour is what the average handyman charges where I live. So another way to do the market research is what does Lowe's and Home Depot charge? So I have installed a lot of basic entry doors that were purchased off the shelf from Home Depot. And I got the job installing a front door in a brick house. Might have been cinder. I don't know. It wasn't your standard easy install into a wood framed house, but it still only took me a day. And this was way back in time when, I would be happy with $200-300 a day. But I said $550 to install a Home Depot front door. And they were ecstatic because Home Depot's quoted them at like $1,200. So that would be market research, knowing what other people are charging, what services can you provide, and doing a balancing act. What can you give them more than Home Depot guys? I've never been sued and never had an insurance claim. How long did it take to become fully established? That was largely influenced by the economy at the time. So in 2007, 2008, most people know there was a huge recession. A lot of two-family incomes went down to one-family income. It was a slow process. And did I have this boat yet? I don't know. I used to spend most of my winters in Florida. And it didn't work all winter. So I would save through spring and summer and fall around the clock. And then go off and hang out in Florida for the winters. So it was a slow process. I would say 3-4 years before I was able to meet what my salary was as a superintendent. How did I handle failure in the beginning? I don't know if I would consider it a failure. It just was a slow start. Not very many people had a lot of money, and I knew that I was working for the future, and that's kind of how I marketed myself, is working with their budget and finding a solution to meet what they could afford. I did not do any surfing in Hawaii. I did not. Trial and error, yes. A lot of trial and error, especially with the pricing. A lot of trial and error. Start low, work my way up. I mean, after thousands of different handyman jobs, remodel jobs, you figure out what you can charge. I've done some really cheap jobs. I've done trade-outs with restaurant managers for like gift certificates for their restaurants. That was a long time ago, like when I said the economy was not doing very well. How do you handle your own 1099s, or do you have an assistant? I don't do any taxes. My accountant handles that. And I refuse to be a 1099 guy. No way would I be a 1099 guy. I don't do a cash discount because I report all my income. That's another topic about why I want money free and clear to invest in certain things, pay off my mortgage. You can't just pay your mortgage off with cash. It's got to be money that's been taxed. I've never sued a customer. That's another thing. Since I don't advertise, I don't have random people that I work for. Every customer that I've ever worked for, well, within the last 7 years. When I was first starting out, I did get some jobs off of Craigslist, but that's about it. A few jobs off of Craigslist. Every other job has been word of mouth, and like-minded people know like-minded people. So if you're a good quality individual, you're not some psycho looking to rip someone off, good chances your brother or your sister is the same way, or your best friend, or your coworkers, people who are in your, your circle are normal. So I've never even had a difficult customer. I've never had an argument with a customer, never had a customer upset, and that goes because I don't have random people calling me to do work for them. All right, I think I saw a decent one up here. What do I invest in? I have a Edward Jones financial planner. My wife has a Fidelity, and we've got 2 houses that we also are making more payments on. Oh, back to the discount. Wait, Tim asked if I write contracts. I used to be. So I worked for the largest home builder in the country, and we had very strict ways in which we did things. So I brought everything I learned from there over to my self-employment remodeling business. And I had contracts, and I typed everything up and had signatures and all that. As time progressed, and this goes along with the types of customers that I've had, the big remodel that's on YouTube right now. No Vanguard. I almost went with Vanguard. Back to the thing. Is on a large project where it's tens of thousands of dollars, I'll type something up so that there's a scope of work just to reference back to. But as far as signed contracts, no. It's usually in the estimate where I'll do some line items, but line items don't get prices and never give itemized pricing. No way. Learned that lesson a long time ago. So there's a lump sum and then a list of what I'm doing, and that's just to refer back to. Do you encourage other YouTube contributors? I don't know what that question is. Do you encourage other YouTube contributors in this field, or are they a threat to your YouTube channel? No, I don't. Like you're talking about giving shout outs. I've given one out. If I think that a channel has value for the viewers, I would promote them. And there's another guy who's very small, maybe a couple hundred, and he commented on the kitchen cabinets, and he says, well, this is how I do it. And I went to his channel, and he's got some very valuable videos, but he's boring as hell. You'll have to take like a double shot of espresso to stay awake, because it's like you'll fall asleep instantly. But the content is very valuable for building your own cabinets. So in a future video, I'm going to say, hey, you know what, this guy here, he is great on building cabinets, building drawers, products, where to get these products. Okay, why no line item for the prices? Because people will nickel and dime you. They'll pick out, say they have a budget of $5,000, and they give you a list of things they want you to do. And you itemize everything out. They will pick and choose the cheap ones. And then it's no longer worth your time. So I don't itemize anything. And I say, well, what I do is I give bulk pricing. The more items you have me do, the better price you get. So I never itemize things out, and sometimes this lady, and I've done some work for her before, and that's another topic of very wealthy people. Some pay good, and some are super penny pinchers. They're more on the penny pincher side. So I itemized everything out, and I didn't even get any of it. Of course, I really didn't want it anyways. Wait, who is it? Try to watch all of you guys. Rick, are you talking about the cabinet guy? I don't even know. What his name is. CNC something or other. CNC Bob something? Can't remember what his name was. What do you think about... maintenance business. Mixed repair and maintenance. Melissa. Are you really a Melissa? Are you a chick, Melissa? A mixed repair and maintenance business. I don't have much experience with industrial repair. I've done a bit of restaurant repair, but mostly residential, light restaurant repair. Done some work on some Domino's pizza places and some Outback steakhouses. A wife's account. You know, you've been commenting and everybody thinks you're a chick. You've been getting a little bit of attention in the comments. Do you ask your clients before? No way. Oh, somebody asked, do I ask permission, or do I ask my clients before posting photos and videos of their project? No. If they see the camera and they ask, well, they never ask. I say it's for my online portfolio, which it is. Sure, Melissa, yeah. Get your own account, you weirdo. Someone was asking a couple times, LLC or S Corporation? Jake Jones, I've been wondering the same thing for a few days. LLC or S Corporation? In my state, everybody is an S Corporation. Everybody. There are hardly any LLCs. And this brings me, it's clicking. How did I learn that? A lot of things I learned from customers who are business owners. And I remember there's this one guy, he's super successful. He's got I don't know what it's a software company, but he started it. He said he started advertising at happy hour, just telling people about his business. And you know, he's my age or a little older, maybe a year or two older than me, and he's got some international accounts, huge. But he also was investing in these houses, and we weren't real close at the time. But I started asking him, like, oh, so, you know, how do you have your business structure? And I'm just going to tell you the part that I remember. They're buying these houses, and I can't exactly remember how the conversation went, but his wife's buying this house, and they're moving from the house that they owned or lived in. That's going to be a rental, and they're moving into a new house that his wife bought, and they're living there. There's this thing to get financing. You got to live in a house for 2 years. You get much better financing when it's your house that you're going to occupy. But he said, I don't take a paycheck. I don't make any money. The business breaks even. I'm like, what do you mean it breaks even? You just bought like 5 houses. There is a lot of gray area that only accountants, business accountants, know how to navigate. And there's several other small business owners that I work for that have kind of nudged me in a certain direction as far as the S Corporation and not taking a paycheck. My accountant is an S corporation. The accountant in the next desk over is his own S corporation. Everybody at the accounting firm is their own S corporation. None of them take a paycheck. So I know you're supposed to take a paycheck, but there's other ways, and I think it depends on the state that you live in, because some states have S corporations but have much more regulation. Don't end up paying. Yes, a lot less taxes once you start making a certain dollar amount. All right, I gotta turn the AC off. It's getting nippy in here. Hold on. Whew, chilly. So I was highly encouraged to go. There's a fan going on back there. To S Corporation by every business owner that I worked for. And how I found my tax accountant was through a referral from another small business owner in a similar industry. Sid 54. I like this channel. What the hell is Sid 54? I'm not sure what that means. What's down? This thing working? The thing's still clicking away. There's 96 people in here. It's up, it's up. Someone said it's down. Check my... Alright. Feed dropped for a moment. Oh shit. Well, I did get up to go turn the thing off. Okay. Down the beer. My beer is... It's getting warm. I don't know if I probably have a koozie in here somewhere. Let's see here. What else can we talk about that's, I don't know, something you would need to know when you first get started? Oh, someone made a comment, and it was on, what video was it on? Handyman makes $250,000 a year fixing toilets. I believe it was on that one. Someone made a comment about the people apparently this person's very wealthy, and the reason that him and everybody he knows would have no problem paying those prices is who they're dealing with. And customer service is the biggest selling point when they're hiring someone to work on their house. Oh, geez. Somebody's... I didn't, in the PRF, I didn't subcontract out the hardwood floor work. The interior designer found the hardwood floor guys and referred them to the customer. What's going on here? Smoking Chiba 420. For some reason, whenever I see your name, I think of Queen of Sheba. I feel like calling you Sheba. I still haven't gotten the saw. There was this European company that was going to send me a saw, and I get sick of waiting. I don't know. I'm thinking I might not go with a slider. I may go with just a compound miter saw that doesn't slide. Jake Jones, yeah, you got a great point. Even me, I hire people to, well, very rarely do I hire people, but you're judged by your value within a minute of someone meeting you. You gotta look the part, look like you're worth what you're gonna ask. Hold on, I'm trying to keep up here. Not much luck with working interior design. Oh geez, I'm way behind. I just had to go through it here. I think Smoking Chiba said flaked, best tool. The reason I don't think I need a slider for the workshop is because a lot of woodworking in a workshop is done on a table saw or a table saw sled. So, Jake Jones, there's dress codes for every major company that has a sales force or customer service people. And I mean, even McDonald's, Walmart has a dress code. The company that I worked for, they would yell at you like, I need to clean up these lines here. You had to have a haircut, and if you had facial hair, you had to have clean lines, no neck beard action, and shirt tucked in, khaki pants. There's a lot of research that has been done on a person's presentation. That's why they all have dress codes. All the major corporations. So, and a lot of carpenters couldn't even get a job at Walmart because they don't fit the dress code. They got actually Walmart's loosened up a little bit. But as far as visible tattoos, I know a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. You have to cover up your tattoos. You know, they walk around with those things on their arms so that you can't see their tattoos. Hair's got to be a certain way. And it's not I don't want to sound like a jerk that's telling you that you look like a bum, you're not going to get a job. I'm just doing what other people have done. That's one thing. I've never invented anything. I looked at successful businesses, successful business practices, and said, well, I mean, they've already done the research on all this, so I'm just going to try to implement it into my work. Tim, have I ever basically thought about growing this? I think about it a lot. If I were to start a handyman business and start with me and start with one other guy and then another guy, I'd have to start marketing to get enough work to keep these two guys busy, and then myself. So you really have to have a good marketing campaign when you go to expand, or else you're not going to make as much money. That's another thing. There was the biggest framer in the whole metro area. He was building our houses, and he had like 12 foremans and 20-some crews going like crazy. And I would pick his brain. I'm like, oh, so, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And he wants to downsize. There's going to be work. No matter, it's going to be labor work if you stay small. If you go big, there's going to be way more risk, a lot more money on the table, and a whole bunch of different type of work. Work that's going to drive you crazy. A lot more stress in large growth. There's a lot of small companies that you have to do a lot of quantity, and if they can't keep the quantity up, the owner, he's making the same amount as when it was just him and a few guys, depending on the industry that they're in. So I will probably switch to general contracting here in a few years. but I don't think I'll have any employees. And I probably won't make as much. That's something that I need to say is if I go full general contractor, I mean, I'd have to have 5, 6 decent remodels going on at the same time and managing a whole bunch of subcontractors. And subcontractors, you guys probably know, I don't think very highly of them. They never show up on time. There's an excuse for everything. And if you finally get one that is a true professional, they're cost an arm and a leg. And then the other guys won't be able to keep up, and it's called adult daycare when you are a superintendent or a contractor. All you have is a bunch of subcontractors squabbling with each other, coming to you complaining about why they can't do their job because somebody else didn't finish in time or somebody else didn't sweep up. Oh man, you wouldn't believe. And a lot of corners cut. It's the nature of their business, and the nature of the contracting business is you want cheap labor. You got to get a certain bathroom tiled, but you have to have it come in at a certain dollar figure, and you start negotiating there. I mean, there's always corners cut, and you have to go in there, inspect the work, and withhold money to get them to come back and make sure there's no gaps in the grout or anything like that. It's a whole different series of a headache managing. You're beating me. I got this warm beer here. But I will start doing subcontracting work. Won't make as much money, but basically I'm saving my joints because you can't do this crazy manual labor for extended periods of time without seeing it take its toll when you're in your 50s and 60s. Yeah, I'm nursing it. It's getting warm, so it's not very good. This is well, all right, here's another thing on YouTube. The fastest way to get monetized is to do live streams. Put a nipple on that thing. So we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I think you have to have 4,000 minutes or 4,000 hours in 1 month or something like that before your YouTube channel can get monetized. I'm not trying to get monetized. I mean, I'm sure this channel will be monetized here shortly. But right now there's no sponsorships. Should be no ads that play on my videos on this channel. Of course, there's only one video on this channel so far. The DJI Osmos Pocket Camera, SID 54. I've heard of it. I don't know what it does. The reason I'd use the GoPro is because I would have bought thousands of dollars in cameras by breaking them if I used like a Canon point and shoot or something like that. All the dust and grabbing it with grout or thin set on your hands and stuff. Maybe he's just asking the question over and over again. My ideal truck. You gotta go big. Start me a GoFundMe. I don't need a GoFundMe. Since Jake Jones, and he's done some super chats, I think, in past live streams. He wants to know about my ideal truck. And my ideal truck, I don't know, it's hard to fit everything, but my ideal work truck isn't the best, like, for driving down the road. But it would be a single rear wheel 3500 with a Cummins turbo diesel in it, with a big back seat, mega cab. And I'll probably do a video on that because I'm at like 230, almost 231,000 miles on my Ram 1500. It's not a good business decision. There's no reason for me to have the 3500 other than maybe hauling a dump trailer and putting a flatbed on it so I can carry different materials and stuff like that. For a handyman, you don't even really need a truck. But as I said in the last live stream, if you were around, every man needs a truck. I mean, you got to have a truck. And I already have 3 vehicles. I don't need a 4th vehicle and a trailer. I don't want to have that many vehicles. Should we get back to the business? I think you can, if you're starting out, you can use any vehicle. Just make sure it's clean and looks as good as you can get it to look. A van, that's good. Just don't have like the wood paneling on the side of it. Well, anybody that's thinking or just started, here we go. What's a good hourly rate to pay a handyman? Well, whatever they're worth in your area. I mean, you got to know what you want done. I don't know if you're looking to hire a handyman or if you're looking to be a handyman. It really depends on the work and what you value that work, what you value them doing the work in your house. $20. Hell no, $20. That's a joke. A lot of people don't realize the cost of being self-employed. You have to make pretty much, I'd say almost double. Say you and your buddy works for IBM, and he's been there for a few years. He's a software engineer, and he makes $85,000 a year. Well, in order for you two to have the same amount of money at the end of the year, you, handyman, you have to make like I'd say $120,000 a year because of his benefit package. So that salary is not what he's making. He's making a ton of vacation time. He's making a ton of sick time. He gets national holidays. He's got health insurance. He's got 401k matching plan. You don't. So for you and your buddy to have equal incomes, you got to make, I don't know, 40% more than he does. And the self-employment tax. So a lot of people think that if a handyman is charging $80 an hour, oh my God, that's crazy. No, it's not crazy. My trip to Hawaii, I didn't get paid. Couldn't take vacation days. The only way to do that is to work extra days in order to afford to be able to take time off. Luckily, I haven't gotten sick this year. I got to get my flu shot. My wife's been on me about getting my flu shot. If I get sick, I don't get sick days. Here. That's why you need to focus on making a lot of money, because you got to spend it to keep up. No flu shot. Oh, Jesus. I opened a can with that one. We get flu shots every year. No one's into flu shots. I don't know. I've got a lot of people in my immediate family that work in the medical field, and they all get flu shots. $40 for a handyman? No freaking way. Not worth my time. I wouldn't even, well, this day and age, now, going way back in time, back to 2008, I would be more than happy with $40 an hour. Because people were just trying to survive back then. But you got to be 80, 90, $100 an hour, $120 an hour in where I live, because it's not cheap to live where I live, and we're not going to get any more into that. How much did I charge for building cabinets? $1,000 a cabinet, depending on the size of it. Tim, I cut the tip of this finger off, and I didn't even do it with a saw. But since I got such good health care, I just got it sewn right back on and didn't have to pay anything. Another thing, as I've said before, is I broke these ribs, and that is the worst thing ever, because there's nothing you can do to make that go away. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up here. Is that Chinese? That's Arabic. Oh, Jesus. It was a ring finger. Yeah, this is one of these silicone rings here. You know, when you're starting up on YouTube, people want to send you stuff. And man, my inbox is flooded with crap right now. But this thing came along, these silicone rings, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Those are pretty darn useful. So they sent me a package of these silicone rings, and I've been wearing them ever since. I hardly ever wear my regular ring. Chris, I don't know what wood you were using in the video that you mentioned. I don't know. Dylan, I don't ever take weekends off. I work every single day that I have work available to me. Oh boy, Jesus speaks Arabic. Rick, I never, ever charge by the hour. And I mean, I've tested this hundreds and hundreds of times. Say, hey, how much to paint this 12 by 12 bedroom? Okay, and I just paint the walls, paint the ceiling, how tall the walls, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's going to take a day, 2 days. They don't want to do it. 2 days to paint a 12 by 12 room? No, it's going to take a few hours. You know, you got to look at, is there furniture there? What do you got to move around? What do you got to mask off and stuff like that? But you don't say, yeah, it's going to be $250 an hour. They'll fall right over and be like, get the hell out of my house. But if you say $500, I can do it tomorrow. They'll be like, hey, that ain't too bad. I don't have to lift a finger. I don't have to move furniture. Done deal. And for that $500, I'd include the paint. Paint, materials, masking, tape. Here you go, Jake Jones, yeah. And it really, and another thing is, I'll say, is this a new, I've said this before, my tree of referrals, my tree of customers, my network. If this is a brand new customer, I treat them like I want to win that customer for life. So I might bump the price down and like go over the top with customer service. And always try to find something to give them extra that they weren't really anticipating. Like, oh wow, he actually did this, he did that. Oh, wasn't expecting that. I'm going to tell my friends about him. That's the mentality I always have with a first customer, that first branch. And I want to nurture that little branch and grow a whole nother network of referrals. When did you jump full-time into self-employment life? Full-time was 2008. 2008? Full-time, 2008. I started part-time, well, for years and years on the side. I did part-time work. Ride my dinghy. That dinghy is fun. So it's a rigid inflatable hull. So it's got a fiberglass hull with the pontoons on the side, and I've got an outboard motor that goes on it, and an extended tiller, like a piece of PVC with a pipe clamp. So, and I got a rope on the front, so I can ride my dinghy by standing up and working the throttle and steering. Yeah, the dinghy's a good time. I actually downsized to a 3.5 4-stroke, so I don't really scoot around too much. But I used to have a 10-horse 2-stroke on the thing, and it was like a dang little speedboat. Someone keeps talking in Arabic. I don't know. Didn't know I was so popular with those guys. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up, see if I miss any questions. Boat tour. I did a little bit of a boat tour on Instagram today. I actually had the diesel running. I got a hose coming in because I'm on land right now. What is this going on here? Do you guys all see all this gibberish? I don't speak noodle. That's funny. Oh, Jesus. Are they like spamming the room in Arabic? Steve B, do I ever hire help? Comes up a lot. And no, I don't hire help. All right, we got to get rid of this freaking... I don't even know how to do that. Remove, report, put user in timeout. Hide user from this channel. Okay. See ya. Wait a minute, we got to get rid of this other noodler. Oops. Jeez. All right, there we go. Got rid of the noodles. I think I got... There we go. A goat shed. All right, I gotta scroll. Oh, geez, there's more. Everyone, Arabic. I don't know if this is a legit person or are they just... I don't know. Infidel. Dude, it's like 3 a.m. in the Middle East. Yeah. Who is that? We got a whole bunch of young ladies in here now. All right, I need another beer. That's cold. Be right back. Hey, you guys want to take a little tour? So this is the galley. Double sink, got an oven, cooktop under here, and this is the refrigerator and the freezer. Got some elk jerky in there. And back there is a bedroom. I don't even know what this looks like. Is it too dark in here? That's the tub and the shower, but I got stuff in there. Push button electric toilet, little vanity. This is kind of where I was just hanging out. Up there is the cockpit, but it's dark out. All right, back over here. Where's my brewski? Elk jerky, antelope jerky, deer jerky. I think I brought it all in and said, here, make me some jerky. And it was just like scraps that I had cut off of things. Is there more? Marsh's moment? It's a sailboat. I need to get a regular. My vice grips are holding up the camera. All right, hold on a second here. Why are there so many ladies in here? Where's the bathroom? Bathroom is right over there. see me. Pier 66. Hold on. Let's see. What did that say? Are there any jobs I avoid? I try to avoid flooring jobs unless they pay a lot of money. Like that vinyl plank flooring video. God, that paid a lot of money. And that is probably the maximum that I would ever do, which was just under, right around 1,000 square feet. So flooring, just because typically doesn't pay well, and it's backbreaking. So tomorrow night, since we're talking about the boat, this boat gets moved from this yard to another yard in a big crane with these straps. So it's a huge device. Machine will pick this thing up, and it'll be in a sling. So, but it's not going in the water until Friday morning. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be on this boat, hanging in a giant sling. It's not on the water yet. It'll be in the water Friday morning, first thing. More? What the heck? You guys are just messing with me now, I think. Oh my God. Why is there so much Arabic in here? Yeah, that's crazy. Why? Who are all these people? I don't know what's going on. I'm not traveling on the sail. I just put it in the water. I don't have the time anymore. What's my daily job? Brianna Sophia Vlogs. Someone see if this chick's real. Brianna Sophia Vlogs. Why are you in here? Probably to pimp herself out. Who did I pick off? Piss off? Jesus. I had, whoa. Who are you? Leela? Had a boat in Holland. Yeah, I love being on the water, man. But those days are getting shorter and shorter. Especially when you have all the hatches open and you can hear the dolphins and stuff outside. It's pretty sweet. Okay, we're going on an hour and 8 minutes. We haven't talked much about the handyman business. Could you talk about insurance policies? So you're just going to get a commercial liability insurance policy. All right, wait. Hold on. I meant, for instance, that you forget to tighten a hose clamp. So how did I find it? I got referred to a local broker. All right, we got to get rid of these. All right, you, stop it. Stop going. Oh my God, they're spamming me. Boom, you're gone. You're gone. You get out of here. Holy cow. You. See ya. There we go. Insurance. It's not expensive. You son of a gun. How are you in here? They're all... Get out of here, you terrorist. There you go. I swear I'm American. Don't delete me. Hopefully I didn't delete anybody on accident. I'm just poking a tiny phone screen. Holy cow. Get the fuck out of here. There's only 132 people in here. Boom. See ya. You're already gone. There we go. Half noodles. The insurance. It's just a general commercial liability insurance. I can't even remember what I pay up front for an entire year, and they'll do an audit. They'll look at your jobs that you've done that year to make sure that the policy that you have matches the work that you've been doing. Okay. Good morning. Oh my God. How? What the? Nope. Get out of here. All right. Here we go. I don't know what the heck they're saying. Maybe you could translate it into English and I could answer your question. So that's a good relevant question is insurance. You can start with a Google search, but I would ask around and for an insurance broker. They sell all sorts of insurance. Oh my God. Oh, we got some Russians in here now. That's crazy. Why are there so many? Another question about starting a handyman business. Anything else there? If they twist their ghost ball, insurance cover them. All right. Luxury bank flooring. Okay. Flooring specialist asks, how much do I charge? Was that per square foot? I don't charge by the square foot. I charge by what I value my time to do that work at. So for 1,000 square feet, I look at where it's located, how difficult it is, how many doorways, how many closets, and I come up with a number that someone would have to pay me to do that work. And that's pretty much how I do it all. Jesus, what the heck? I don't have a number. I don't charge by a square foot. I don't charge by linear foot, don't charge by square foot at all. Someone asked a good question. Ben, Edward, did you ever jump into a job and realize you couldn't finish it yourself? Nope. I think that just is because of my background in construction. I've been in it my entire life. So I have a very good idea of what it takes to do just about anything and everything. Is there a religion block on this chat? I don't know what the hell's going on. Then we're down to only 125 people, but what the hell? Stop it. You. All right. Let me see if I can remove a few more, but something's going on. I don't even know how to pick a mod. I'm new to this. Oh, geez, here's another one, you mother. Get out of here. Dang, I'm late. All these hookers are... Okay, I think I just got rid of 3 or 4 more. All right, let's see here. Let me... Jake Jones, I'm going to try to turn you into a mod. I can't. My only options are report, remove, put this user in timeout, or hide this user on this channel. I don't know how to make you a mod. All right, okay. Let's get back to business. Worst tool you've ever bought? That's a good question. It is a Harbor Freight bench grinder. If there's this video I have called something Harbor Freight Tools for the Pros, and I purchased a bench grinder. I purchased a whole bunch of tools, but I haven't even used that bench grinder more than one time. And I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with it. I'm going to see if I can maybe put a buffing wheel on it or a wire wheel, but I mean, you couldn't even light a match on the thing. It's so underpowered. So my worst tool I ever bought was a Harbor Freight bench grinder. What the fuck? I'm trying to delete, man. There's a hacker. There is a hacker. PRF asked a good question. If you could pick a specialty trade, which one would you choose? I'm assuming this is being a self-employed person. And I've gone through this myself, trying to figure out, I can do a lot of different things. I should probably settle on one, market myself for that, and things will get easier. There won't be very many challenging things when you specialize in one thing. And I don't have the answer yet. Definitely wouldn't be tile, wouldn't be plumbing or electrical. When I was a superintendent, I gotta scroll down to the bottom here. When I was a superintendent, the specialty trade that I liked and was most interested in was surface repair. So when you build a new house, a lot of stuff gets damaged, from the baluster, the railings, the cabinets. A granite countertop gets chipped. A Formica countertop gets scratched. A tub repairs, everything. And there was this guy that we would call in, and he had a whole kit. He didn't need a big truck, didn't need a lot of tools, but the guy could fix anything as far as repair it, like the surface defects. I always thought that was kind of a cool specialty trade. I mentioned it in one of the other ones, but another specialty trade that I like is tub refinishing. Oh Jesus, the flu shot contains a whole bunch of shit. Okay. I do like, hey bro, I'm from Saudi Arabia. Okay, that's cool. What are these other people saying? I don't think there's very many left. But it was going by really fast. So if you could translate, maybe we could all join in on the conversation. Let's see here. Hey. I'm not sure what the frost depth. I should know what. Geez, they're back. Ferris, what are you saying? Are you talking to them? I don't know. Frost line. You just look it up on your local building department's website. I think it's like 34 inches where I live. I hear about sales tactics. Oh, another noodle. Mila? Whoa, hey ladies. A lot of Arabic ladies in here with hardly any clothes on. Getting rid of them. You're going away too. How does Instagram make you money? When you get enough followers, which I'm not quite there yet, you get paid to post pictures of things like Corona. There you go. There's 10 grand. Another thing with Instagram, and so I'm just learning the Instagram thing. So you can get paid by another Instagram account to promote their account, which I just learned. One of the only people that I follow on Instagram, he got called out for it. Of course, he's extremely influential, and when he posted it, I thought that's kind of fishy. And then I went to the comments and people were calling him out. And I did a little more research online And then, yes, you get paid to promote other Instagram accounts. What do I mean? What do I mean about what? So take WD-40. It's one of my sponsors on the other channel. And part of the contract is a video on YouTube and an Instagram post. And we're going to renegotiate here, I think. And I kind of want to get rid of the Instagram portion of it. So, yeah, that's how all these Instagram people make money, is by product promotions. Bro, I see your name, Faris, Faris, 95, from Saudi Arabia. At least he's typing it in English. I can't. That's one thing that you can't do. Is it's part of the written contract is you can't discuss how much you make for those sponsored videos, because, well, it's a negotiation thing. Can't, because then you're going to have other influencers that are like, hey, that guy got paid $3,500 to promote the same thing that I got paid $300 to do. And he's only got so many, X amount of subscribers. So part of the contract that you sign, you can't discuss how much you make per video. Why no Facebook? I got rid of Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook forever. Facebook's the devil. I may think about doing, I guess, a social media, like as the Handyman Facebook page. But I don't know. Yes, every sponsored video is measured in the thousands. Even that silly video game. That's the wild card. When people you don't understand how much money is in sponsored videos. You can get a decent idea from Amazon Associates and YouTube Analytics and what AdSense pays out, but the wild card, man, is those sponsored videos. Blew my mind. I thought I was getting scammed. All right, this is one I can tell you. Did they? I can't remember if I signed a contract for that one. Oh, more terrorists. Hide. They wanted to pay me $1,000 to promote vacuum cleaner bags. It's on the channel. It's one of the least viewed videos. And I was like, what? This has got to be a scam. Vacuum cleaner bags for $1,000? I'm like, come on. I typed back, what are you, some sort of scammer or something like that? Turned out to be legit. And then they sent me like a $400 vacuum cleaner and paid me $1,000. And that was over a year ago. And it blew my mind. I'm like, $1,000? At that time I had 1,400 subscribers, 1,600 subscribers. I can't remember what it was at as far as subscribers. But that was the first decent one. That was one of the very first ones. May have been the first one. Vacuum cleaner bags. $1,000. Still. Then when it happened again, I was like, what? $1,000? And you're going to send me this thing that's worth $500? And I'm like, is this a scam again? Now, I just, it's just the way it is. And I'm still a really small YouTube channel. So when you see these guys, like this one guy that I watch, Alex Steele, the blacksmith kid from England, every one of his videos that is like sponsored, like every single one. You see guys that have 1 million subscribers, they're getting paid, I'm guessing $30,000-ish for that one sponsored video. At least 30 grand. If you have 1 million subscribers and you say, hey, this video is sponsored by, what's the latest one? Simply Safe. They're paying out 30 grand for that. That one video. Anyway, let's stay on topic here. You advertise vacuum cleaner bags hourly? Alex Steele, his work ethic, you have to know. I mean, he's slowing down on his uploads now because it's a lot of work. His videos are crazy. They're like a full-on production. And he's got great work ethic for a young kid, and he's got some good business skills too, because he is killing it. Let's see here. I don't think it's that high. If I had a YouTube channel with 5+ million subscribers, with views a month. PRF, you had a YouTube channel and you had 5 million views in 1 month. That's pretty damn good. Real good. There's more to the sponsorships than just the views, especially when you get into the higher brands, the more well-known brands. They look at your year's content, your character, and who is promoting their product. Yeah, of course. Yes, I edit my own videos. Would I recommend Ryobi tools? Sure. They'll work for a while. I had a whole video because I sanded the entire hull of this boat 1 million times while I was painting it with a Ryobi sander. Went through 3 of them. All right, what's my Instagram? Is the Handyman. I'll post it in the next video. Either here. You go to sleep and take all those other noodle writers with you. See you later. Do I hunt? Yes, I am a big game hunter. There it is, the Handyman. When it's a highly specific audience, then yes. But most of Alex Steele's are like Wix and Skillshare, yep, which pay good money but won't be the same as a welder company. Oh yeah, so like Lincoln, I bet they have. Oh, there's another thing that you guys might not be aware of. Most social influencers are not calling out that the video is sponsored. Some of the biggest companies write into their contracts that you must call out per the FCC regulations that this is a sponsored video, and if it's in your Instagram, you gotta do hashtag sponsored or some hashtag ad. But for the most part, they're not. They're not doing it. It's not easy to enforce that law. So a lot of them are not saying that this is a sponsored video when it really is. DeWalt's. Oh my! I gotta see who the heck is texting me. How do I even do that on here? Oh Jesus! I think those are YouTube comments that are coming in. Where are you at here? You could easily. You really think I get a DeWalt? I don't know how. I don't even know how to contact some of the big ones. All the sponsorships I've had, they've contacted me. So this isn't someone's recommended? Hey, Dreamer, you should subscribe. You like I watch anime? This isn't anime. Who? Scratch that last message. Any other questions relating to someone getting started out? You're in your first year. and you have a question. Or maybe you're one of those grouchy old bastards that no one likes, and you're sick of only making 20 bucks an hour as a handyman. Anything that I could share with my experiences. Did you already talk about how you make money on YouTube? Sam Q. I did in a previous live stream that didn't save and publish. Only the people who were watching got to see what that is. But I'll just make it quick. You get AdSense money from YouTube is one source of income. Rate an average for my last year. Every month is different. Every month has a different value in an ad campaign. So October, November, December are going to be the highest paying months. January, February, March are the lowest paying months. But as an average throughout the year, 1 million views for my type of content is about $4,700. Could get close to $5,000. In November and December, 1 million views was good for about $7,000. And apparently somebody didn't believe me in one of my other videos. And, well, I mean, I showed the numbers before. AdSense is another thing. All the links in the descriptions. I get, if it's a tool, I get about 5%. Could be as low as 2%. So I've been averaging $1,700 a month off of, I'd have to look, 20-some thousand in sales, Amazon sales through my links. All right, there's Guy. This is where most handymen are from, are small towns. Oh boy, Roy. Small town, rural, in the South. Isn't everybody a handyman in the South that lives in the country? Everybody knows how to do their own home repairs. The only thing I could think of is getting on with a property manager that manages some rentals, or if you have like vacation homes. I don't know how far in the South, but rural Alabama doesn't have much of an industry for anything. Ever worked in North Texas? Nope, but I'll be there in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm a traveler. I've been to New York to Hawaii to Florida all in the last 30 days. And I'm soon going to add Texas to that. And it will still all be. What's this yep thing? Yep. When I was doing podcasting, Amazon links were about $1,000 a month for our network. Yeah. Here, I'll just pop this up and see if I can. I'll show one more time, and then we'll put this to rest here. Oh, I gotta turn my hotspot back on. See what you guys make. I don't know if I can turn the hotspot back on without killing the live stream. It's not that important. I was going to show you what, just to show you what the YouTube pays and what Amazon pays. But always that wild card is the sponsored videos. Maybe in another one, back in the workshop when I got my real camera set up, I'll show you the Amazon analytics. So you guys can maybe do that if you're looking to start a YouTube channel. I've been telling some of my friends, I'm like, man, you should start a YouTube channel. But it actually is quite a bit of work to consistently upload. What is this video about? Reese's Pieces. This video is about being a handyman. Yeah, handy woman. What are you in here for, Reese's Pieces? Huh? Man, this is way weirder. I've never had these random people come into my other live streams. What is that, Rick? Hold on, Rick asked a question here. Do you sell the handyman business for cash when you make enough money from YouTube? That's one thing that we should talk about at some point in time, and a lot of people can give input. When you're self-employed, you're not really building a business. It doesn't have any value. It's not like you can sell my tool trailer and all the tools. My customers are not going to want some other person in their house. They only want me in their house, and that's the only reason I have business. They don't even know the name of my company. They're like, "What's the name of your company again?" You know, whenever they're writing checks. So there's nothing to sell when I'm done. So all the money that I make, I have to put to work in some sort of investment. Yeah, I mean, you could build up a website. You can't really sell your client list and your website. It just doesn't have much value. I've seen people try to sell it. Sell a small business like this. What you could sell is maybe a carpet cleaning business. That's a decent self-employed business. You get the whole van, the whole setup. There is value in, what you've created. A reputation, you really got to go into the marketing and reviews. Online reviews, you can sell those too. Oh, that's another thing I should talk about. I constantly get emails from Amazon sellers that say, "Hey, we want you to go buy our product, write a review, and then we'll reimburse you for the product and then send you a couple $100." So there's a lot of shady business out there, just in case you're wondering. Yes, my health care is covered by my wife. We have really good health insurance. Now, there was a portion of my life where I went without health insurance. And then there was pre-Obamacare where I had this a high deductible health insurance, which was great. It was like $150 a month. That would cover me if I was seriously injured, got really ill, but I can't remember what the deductible was, $5,000 or something like that. But then, once Obamacare came around, remember the thing? They got rid of all those plans for young men. A young guy like me didn't really need anything crazy as far as health insurance. Brett, yes, I'm going hog hunting. Brett Wayne. So I had to go through my state's, what is it called? Their website, their health insurance thing. So you go through and you do this whole questionnaire. They take into account your income and all this other business, and they give you health insurance plans to pick from. And that's how I got health insurance before I got married. Medicaid is not just for poor people anymore, Joe. And a lot of states make you go on Medicaid. Medicaid is now pretty much the socialized healthcare system. It's not just for poor people. A lot of self-employed people have to go on Medicaid because the government says you have to go on this. There's a question. Are you licensed and bonded? So, Kev, do you know what bonded is? What's bonded? Let's have a little discussion. What's bonded mean? Most people don't have a freaking clue. Kev, that is 100% incorrect. Keep going. Guess again. Nope. Bonded is not insurance at all. James bonded? A lot of people just throw around these words. Are you bonded? What the hell? You don't know what bonded is. Oh, Kev, I'm not trying to come down on you. I do get thrown off because I do get trolled a lot. And thanks for we should have hashtag not trolling. Like, this is a legit question. So Bonding ensures the completion of the job. Yes, Rob. Bonded, and I could be wrong, but I know it has nothing to do with insurance. It's kind of like a middleman that, so you've got your contractor, you got the bonding company, and then you got your customer, and there's either a portion of money that is protecting both people, the contractor and the customer. It's all about money and something like that, so that the customer doesn't get screwed. It's just like the word is on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to see if anybody else can spit it out. It's not like having a new home warranty. Hashtag not trolling. Escrow. Damn, there it is. It's kind of like an escrow account, so that nobody gets screwed. There we go. Does that answer the question about bonding? Licensed, insured, and bonded. It means that you have a bonding agent that you can use if it comes out. But I've never used a bonding agent before. Oh, someone said something about bonding. Bonding. No. Yeah. There's some other people in here that they kind of know what the bonding thing is about. Can you record a video of an estimate? Oh, that reminds me. So, way back in time, God, I was in my early 20s. I had this really horrible customer, and I was what'd they call us? Field managers. They called it, I was a field manager. Every company gives you these fancy terms, but basically you're just a superintendent. And I remember her name. Oh, she was a witch. Crazy liar. I don't know if I've told this story or not. I'm reading somebody's comment here. Got sidetracked. Well, anyways, I had a little recorder in my front pocket. It was all about her. She has some crazy hardwood floor damage, and she's got these 2 giant Labrador retrievers and these giant water bowls. And I'd been in her house before for some warranty work, and all of a sudden, my hardwood floors are all messed up. Look at them. And they're cupped. They're a cup up like this, not a cup like this. And basically I had to call her out. I'm like, where are the giant dog bowls that were just there like last week? And anyways, I go, sorry, but there's no water source anywhere to have one isolated spot of your hardwood floor. She threw me out of her house, started swearing, cursing at me. I bet somewhere, tucked in a box somewhere, I have that little digital recorder that I could play for you guys. But she was swearing and cursing, get the fuck out of my house! I'm not a liar! Oh, that was so funny. All right, someone had a long one up here. Well, my wife has a crazy good career and makes a ton of money. She's been at the same job since she got out of college. Freshwater damage, yeah. It was from her dog bowls. Oh, the same crazy lady? She was a bartender. This is back when they were giving everybody a home loan. So she hired one of the people that worked at her bars, probably had a few too many of these, to install a garage door opener. I wish I had this on video. It was hilarious. The guy forgot to disconnect the latches on the side and hit the button after he got it in. And the thing just ripped the freaking, those cheap aluminum garage doors right in half. Well, it didn't rip it in half, but like folded it way in like this. And they call up the warranty manager and me to come look. Oh, it just fell down from the ceiling. Like, are you kidding me? Garage doors just don't fold in from the ceiling. You crazy lady. So I had one of those on recording. And how that came up is someone said, hey, can you film or record an estimate? Somebody said, do I prepare a scope of work for every job? No. Only large jobs. and new customers. Repeat customers, man, most of my customers are friends, and that's another topic: is don't become too friendly with your customers. I like this fall. I don't know how many jobs I went to go on, and they greet me with a hug. I'm like, listen, no more hugging the handyman. So yeah, they were greeting me with hugs, and I'm like, man, how am I supposed to work for you, treat you as a customer when you give me hugs? I think they're trying to get a deal on their work. There we go, same story. Hey, Ruben, did I say that story about the garage door before? All right, well, I don't want to be a broken record, so call me out. Thanks. No more telling about the garage door story. No troll. I have a hugging client. I said no troll. Yeah, it happens, especially when it's year after year after year. These people see you, for a long time. Let's see here. I don't know. I didn't even see what Ruben was saying. What did he say? Ruben, yes. Oh, I think he's just calling me out that I've told that story on a live stream before. I mean, God, I've done, 20 hours of live streams. Oh yeah, Ozzy. She's also really good at business, the social media business. April Wilkinson. She's killing it. So she's another person I kind of look at as far as someone who's way ahead of me and trying to see what they did to get there. As far as the YouTube thing, she's very active on Instagram. Roy, do I ever use SketchUp layout software? I don't. I've had some in the past, some room design, a deck designing software. I just never really had the time to figure out how to use it, and I don't know if it would have come in handy to get any of my jobs. She's in North Texas, huh? Like how far north? Like Amarillo? Because I'll be in Amarillo here in a little bit. I don't listen to music when I work. Oh, Fort Worth. So she's around Dallas. Fort Worth. This is my first tool set. I actually have my first hammer at home. Who's Uncle Ricky? I don't know who that is. Ooh. All right, Sam Q. This is a great question. Just under 40K a year. He's 30 years old. Let's see here. Retiring. If you start early, do not wait. I waited to start investing, and I am making up for lost time. So the earlier you can get is putting away as much money as you can. I'm not an expert on it. Mr. Money Mustache would be a good resource for you as far as investing what you make. And what's that other guy? You guys they'll probably come up down below. What the heck is his name? He used to be on the radio, maybe still on the radio. What the heck is his name? Dave Ramsey, there it is. He's got some programs that are good for younger people to get started investing and getting that money that you do make and get it to work for you, because the construction industry, the labor portion of it is not where you want to spend the next 35 years. Maybe the next 15 to 20 years. But you don't want to make a long-term career out of hard labor. There he is. Yeah, everybody's responding now. As far as making more than 40,000 a year, oops, just turn the sink on. You should be able to do that almost anywhere in the United States with our current economy. I think that's the thing is construction labor is cheap. Unless you are the guy that is getting the work, the guy that is the front man, like if you are an employee, you don't make that much money. You're going to be making 40, maybe 60 grand a year as a carpenter. Some electricians, I know when you get up to be like a master electrician and now you are working on industrial or large commercial projects, you can easily get to six figures as a foreman or a superintendent. But generally speaking, construction labor as an employee is cheap. So you gotta get on your own is my suggestion. Self-employment. Okay, that's good. Everybody's giving good feedback to Sam. All right, this is kind of a repeat, but Jim somebody, how do I find out what pricing is in my area? Well, one, I do it on my own. I've been in my area for, I don't know, 10, 11 years now. And you learn job after job, year after year, what the market will pay you. So start low, start working your prices up, start increasing your customer service, your salesmanship, and bring the prices up until people say, "Get out of my house, you crazy." No. Until you don't, you got to mess around with your pricing. The same way all businesses do it. They do pricing research. You're right. Ramich 3, Ramich 3. You recommend to work for a company or try out self-employment? Well, until you have a good skill set and have been trained, you got to work for other companies. That's how I did it. Starting, I think, 15, 16 years old. I know I was definitely a teenager when I started doing roofing and siding. Started doing electrical work even younger than that as a helper. But the best way and the fastest way to learn is not teaching yourself. It's going to work for other professionals and have them teach you. And I actually hopped around a little bit so that I could get different methods from different people. And there's the skill set to build things, but then there is the business management skill set. That is the biggest thing that's going to separate you from competition. And I would analyze more the business management aspect than I would how to install kitchen cabinets. I mean, installing kitchen cabinets, most of this stuff is not rocket science. The business management of it, how to get the money, keep the money coming in, keep the customers happy. Customer service is just as valuable as the cabinets staying on the wall. Maybe not quite. You got to have the cabinet stay on the wall. All right, let's see here. What's this used to keep track of income, expenses? Aaron, I do not do any accounting. I have an accountant. I don't worry about it. I don't think about it. I have one business debit card. All expenses, business related, even YouTube related, all go on that expense, that one card. But I got to buy a new phone. I got to pretty much anything I buy these days is a business expense because it's all related to what I do. And there's a lot of other things. Oh man, there's a lot of things that you can't discuss openly on social media to keep more of your money. I just told Aaron I don't use this. Oh no, you already asked that question. Sorry. I typically just go. Yeah. I used to try to do my taxes by myself, and I was very conservative. I knew I was giving more money away to the government, but I wasn't confident in knowing enough about tax laws. And I would always just know that if I were ever to get audited, they'd be like, oh, shit, we actually owe you money. But then that's when I started making enough money to afford a good accountant. Because I can't. I'd get too stressed over it. I just need to know that I'm going to spend, what will I spend this year just on tax preparation? It's usually it's like around $1,000. But that's business taxes and my wife and I's personal taxes. So there's a business tax, my income tax, and my wife's income tax, and we file together, jointly. How much time do you spend editing video? Every video, even though some of them seem so simple, and I think, oh, this is going to be an easy video to edit, are at least 3 hours. Yeah. 3 to 4 hours. And a lot of that time is rewatching it. So say for a 10, 15-minute video, I could have 40 minutes to an hour just rewatching it and saying, oh, I'm going to trim this area out because I'm not really doing anything. It's a waste of time, waste of your time. So I'll trim that out or speed this section up or lengthen this section out. So you could have at least an hour just in rewatching it. Am I referring to, I don't know who that is. Somebody asked, how did I find my accountant? Through another small business owner in a similar industry, but they were a lot bigger than me. $1,000 for an accountant. And I have a business attorney that I pay to keep all my S corporation filings in all the ducks in a row. Jake Jones, bookkeeping? I don't have any bookkeeping. It's all on the, actually, I guess I do. I have, what is that thing? QuickBooks. And all the stuff just goes into QuickBooks from that one debit card. But I haven't opened up QuickBooks in about a year, over a year. For a 16-minute video is about 3 to 4 hours. Andrew, all income, even from YouTube, goes into the one business account. One business checking account, and all expenses come out of that one business checking account. So Tommy Leamy something said, holy shit, what? Holy shit, what? Yeah. And I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I've done 200 of them. The new computer that I got, the Predator, is pretty quick. It just takes that much time. Because you got to think, a 16 minute video, that is, probably an hour and a half, up to two hours of actual video footage that gets chopped down to 16 minutes. So I have to watch all of that. So the first run through it, I'm starting with, we'll just go with an hour and a half of video. So I'm going through that very slowly. One clip at a time, cutting it out, cutting it out, cutting it out. So, yeah, it takes a lot of hours. And I'm not even, the videos I put out, they don't have music, they don't have slow-mo or anything extravagant. What percentage does YouTube take? I don't know. BR, yes. That was my take home from not just YouTube. I said social media. All sources of income from social media was 75,000 in 2018. I'm not sure what YouTube's cut is. They take a cut, but what's left over, I'll just say this right now. YouTube made 45,000 last year. The rest was in Amazon and video sponsors. How's it? Oh, someone, wow. Aaron Singer, how's the DIY track saw coming? I have the parts, I have the tracks, I have all these things. I've had them for months, and they fall over, and I'm always moving them. I hope to build the real good track saw here in the upcoming months. I'm way behind you guys. I'm slowly scrolling through here looking for decent questions. Why don't I buy and hold properties? Because right now a decent property costs $600,000 to $700,000 where I live. I'm actually thinking of going out of state to start investing in real estate. How long does it take to render a 15-minute video? On the Predator right here, I'll show you my Predator. I kind of love this computer. It's got lit up keyboards. This thing here, 15-minute video, will render in 10 minutes. A 15-minute video takes 15-20 minutes to upload in 1080p. Has anyone ever asked me for my autographs? I'm way behind you guys. I'm slowly scrolling. No, but I have had several experiences in Home Depot parking lots, and I've seen people give me like strange looks before. Tommy Limi, when do I sleep? I don't sleep much. That's why I have these bags under my eyes. 5 hours of sleep is normally what I get. In fact, tonight it's only 9 o'clock on the East Coast here, so I'll get back to work on the next video, which is the crown molding for those cabinets. That's the next video. How I cut it, how I cope. People say, you don't cope your inside corners. Listen, on baseboard, no. I slap that shit in there and caulk it. But on crown molding, I will cope the inside corners. Is this live? Yes, this is live. Holy cow, I don't know how far behind am I. 8:54. I'm only 3 minutes behind you guys in reading the comments. What GoPro setup? It was a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. It still works, just the front screen is cracked. That's a good question. Is YouTube income dependable? I don't depend on it, and that's a mental thing. There's a lot of thing about finance and money that you have to force yourself into. Like, I cannot depend on this extra $75,000 a year, and next year I can't anticipate that I'm going to make $100,000 a year on YouTube. So that is strictly like security money. Don't spend it. My account, how am I sure my account isn't stealing my money? He doesn't touch my money. He has no access to my accounts. He can look at them. He can't take anything. 2 a.m. Where the hell are you in it? Oh, wait. 9. Where is it at 2 a.m.? Yeah, do your best, cock the rest. How much money down? Oh, that's a good question. Aaron Singer. How much money do I require up front? So take this this remodel. It's like a kitchen. It's a little bit of the dining room. I removed a wall. I'm relocating a light and the fireplace. They wrote me a $4,000 check on the very first day. Actually, I have another $4,000 check from them in my pocket right now. Forgot to deposit it before I left. So I usually break it up into phases, and especially when they start adding things, I like, okay, let's put that on a new job. Let's treat that as separate. So I'm going to focus on the original contract work, and we'll chip away at it. Sometimes it's 50%, 30%, whatever makes sense. And like I said, most of my customers are repeat customers or are referred to me from repeat customers. So I don't really have to worry about shady business and not getting paid. All right. Yeah, I am in. Someone just joined. Yes, I'm in a sailboat right now. I'm trying to. Oh, someone's in England. It's good. It's 2 a.m. in England. I'm falling behind. I'm catching up. I'm 2 minutes behind reading these. Wait, no, I'm there. Contracts. As far as like a real contract for my work with customers, it's not. I wouldn't call it a contract. There's a scope of work with line items and one price. You have so many ideas for my brand. I am so PRF. He seems like he knows a good bit about the social influencer business, and I am so far behind the curve. I mean, I don't know. I keep looking over here. My computer's not hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and I'm afraid I'd drop you guys if I did the deal. I think I'm at like 96,000, and I don't have a plan. I don't even, what do they call it, a media kit? I don't have a media kit. I don't reach out to other, DM me on the Insta. I don't reach out for, what are those things, sponsorships. I've got a few that have reached out to me. I really need to get on the ball. I don't have any merch, but I do have my wife. She drew up two good designs for some pretty cool t-shirts, hats, and then I don't know what to do. I know I can get them made locally at a really good quality and do the shipping and all that stuff myself to ensure that I know you're getting a good quality, comfortable t-shirt. But most people just hand it over to what is it, Teespring or some other online thing, and they send you out these crappy, scratchy 100% cotton that they shrink up when you wash them and they fade. So I don't know. I mean, I will do the merchandise here, but more than a merchandise, there's a tool that I'd like to, I guess, sell. And you can get it anywhere, but I would like to, I don't know, I need a decent website and have the store and all that other business. Yeah, that's another. Someone said you can Yeah, he does Demolition Ranch, or the Bunker Branding is his t-shirt company. I don't think they're gonna take on a tiny little handyman channel. You got to be able to put in some decent orders for him to make you some t-shirts. Shopify. Bunker Branding. Yeah, I think it's Bunker Branding. Is his company that he started up just to make this stuff. He's another guy that's done very ridiculously well on social media. Is this thing still on? Has HGTV contacted you about doing a show? Once, and it was way back in the beginning, and there's a weird learning curve talking to a camera. You can talk to people, but then it puts a camera in front of your face, you just you turn half retarded. So the thing with HGTV, they want personality. That's it. They want some wild, wacky, really, really extreme, out there personality. And I don't think I gave him enough. I didn't give him Handy Andy. Handy Andy wasn't even around yet. I should have done the audition dressed up as Handy Andy. Oh, that's funny. That would be a good show. All right. Yeah. Oh, this guy with Cable Guy CGY. He's a little more hyper. So that's another thing. is successful YouTubers, and I've watched them, and it's kind of annoying to me. What's Lunkers? You guys know who Lunkers is? Another Texan, hunter, veteran. He, to get big, you got to be a freaking weirdo. Basically, it turns into reality TV, and it worked. He's at like 1.2 million subscribers. You got to have a zany personality and start going nuts. You got to be handy Andy pretty much on YouTube to get the views. Anyways, we'll put YouTube to bed now. Someone asked, does an S corp need workman's comp? In my state, no. An S corp does not need workers' comp. Other states it does. I know New York is crazy about workman's comp. Someone said he's made me handy. I'm not giving my address out. Handy Andy t-shirts. Handy Andy. Let's see here. Oh, I'm behind you guys again. I'm trying not to miss any decent questions. Juan, just ask right here. Juan, you have your 2 hours right now. Well, we'll give you a couple minutes, Juan. Yeah, New York needs, it's like crazy in New York. Okay, I got 2 warm beers here. I'm going to get another cold one. I finished most of it, though. Finish the rest of my Subway sandwich. We're done here. All right. Juan. Maybe Juan wants to ask the questions that land in the gray area. There's a lot that, how do I start this off? People have mentioned in the comments. I get like 8,000 comments a month, and I read every single one. That not very many people are open to sharing the gray area or the secrets of the business, of just business. We're not talking about the actual... Crack it? No. Secrets to installing cabinets or installing doorknobs or light fixtures or LED lights and this. Come on, get off of there. It's about the basic keeping more of your money. That's the thing. All right. Let me see. Did Juan ask anything yet? Sam Q, I see you asked something. What did you get? Time for a sandwich? It's in there. I ate half of it. I don't want to put a whole bunch of food on here. I'm not going to be here very long. Studying in California. Ooh, California. There you go. There's your first mistake, Juan. Sorry. Orange County and LA area. Gonna be... I don't know what that word is. I'm guessing you're on a phone and some autocorrect. Brian Standley. Yes, I've got a ton of books, and I've posted them in some of my other videos, like a full book list. And I forgot, I'm on like the last 2 chapters of Extreme Ownership. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, I'm assuming all you guys follow me on Instagram. Charging. Juan. Juan, when I started, I didn't pay attention to the money. I paid attention to developing long-term customer relations. That's been the way that I've been able to keep it up, is focusing on the customer and just taking that dollar figure away and say, I have to get this customer to tell people about me. That's how the business is going to grow. And high value for the dollar. Yeah. That's another thing I haven't been talking about much lately, is the value for their dollar. You have to sell value. You have to give them value for what they're paying. And that, how do you find out what that value is? Experience, and you got to get feedback from them. When you show up to give an estimate, you got to, hey, PRF, See you later. DM me. Um, it's a very, very good question Juan asked about charging. But when you're first starting out, it's all about, he's going to slide into my DMs. It's all about developing that long-term customer relations. You want that customer to call you for the next 10 years. And then you want that customer to tell their brother or their sister or their father. And you want them calling you for the next 10 years. So that's what I would focus on. When I started, I had like a year's supply of money. It wasn't a lot. I can't remember. It was like 20, 30 grand that I knew that I could live off of for at least a year. And for that first year, I maybe made 15 grand. Of course, I was hanging out on a sailboat most of the time. So just focus on the customer, not the money when you start out. The money will come in the end. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got some Asians in here now. Who's that? Looks like an Asian nun. Oh, jeez. More noodles. That's rice, not noodles. Maybe it is noodles. Work for hugs? Actually, do I work for hugs? I've done some really low priced work. Just because I knew that person had connections. They had a lot of friends. It's ramen. It's ramen noodles. Have a restored boats. That's a good topic. If I could make a living as a marine carpenter, that's kind of my dream job. High-end carpentry for yachts, but it's a very tough market, and you have to live in Fort Lauderdale. That is the mecca for boating. Jake. And when I did live in Fort Lauderdale on a sailboat, I did a lot of work on people's boats, and I could have pursued a career in that, but if you are from Fort Lauderdale, I mean, like right on the coast of Fort Lauderdale, you know that that's a wild place. Not a place to find a decent wife and raise kids. Let's see here. That's another good question. Structures specialist. One-day job versus larger projects. It can go either way. Larger projects are guaranteed daily income. Like this remodel, that's a full month and a half of work. Of course, I did have the hardwood floor guys, and I discussed this some other time, that I was able to do when other contractors came in, I was able to pick up some smaller jobs, 2-3 day jobs, while other people were working. It can go both ways. There's a lot less risk and a lot less stress with the one-day smaller jobs. In the future, I would like to work away from remodel jobs and go into the smaller, real easy, quick turnaround jobs. I don't know. My most that I build in a week, I can't remember. I do know that I purchased this boat it was before YouTube, and it was the biggest month that I had ever had. It was like $28,000 in 1 month. And I worked, it was more like 35 days. Every single day, sun up to sundown, strung out on energy drinks. It was crazy. And the location, it was a tiny little downtown condo that it really wasn't that old. Yeah, build, yeah. I got it, Tim. But 28,000, 30,000 in 1 month was a pretty damn good month. But it took every single ounce of willpower and energy to get through that month. And then I went and spent it on a a whole bunch of stuff. But I had a couple back-to-back months. And that was one of the first summers that I started employing these sales tactics that I'd read on some books and seen on some online seminars. And it does work. But they didn't turn it into long-term customers. One of them did. But yes, I did hunt elk in 2018. And going back to another reason I'm self-employed is time off. Lots of time off. When I was a superintendent, you couldn't take more than a few days off. And this is another repeat from other live streams. You couldn't take time off because no one was going to do your job for you while you were gone. So time off. I took the entire month of September off and lived pretty much in a tent the whole month. But I would climb to the top of a mountain that got 3G cell phone service just to answer comments. Jim, what type of sales tactics? God, it's a whole system of communication, and I mean from confidence, and there's this whole aura that you have to have that a customer trusts you. Just your positive energy. There's a lot of different things that I picked from different seminars, and there's also books and audio books on it. An Asian massage. Jake, you have no idea how close you are to that. The Asian part. Oh, I don't know. This guy's got an AKF TIG welding. TIG welding is kind of a hobby that I haven't been pursuing much, but I do have an AC/DC TIG welder. How do your clients take you taking time off? Well, you got to schedule it. And, well, the recent trip to Hawaii, I told you how that worked out as far as the countertop. We had to wait for the countertops to come in. And right now, tomorrow, the hardwood floor guys are doing their final sand and coat. And I still don't know what the heck they're doing with their backsplash. So I got some downtime strategically placed. I stopped taking customers and new work in November, just saying I wasn't available, and call me in spring. Do they know? How do your clients take you taking time off? Do they know that I'm on vacation? I don't get that personal with them. I'm going to talk about taxes one more time here. I had to skip through a whole bunch. I missed a bunch. So before I was an S corporation, I was an LLC. I can't remember. I was pretty much filing taxes under my Social Security number, and I hadn't formed an S corporation yet, but I did hire an accountant because I made some decent money that year, and I was trying to get more legit to make sure that I wasn't paying too much, but I made a good chunk of money, and I had to pay a ton of taxes, and I was like, oh my God, this almost isn't worth it. The government is taking 48% of my blood and sweat. Every time Handyman taps the sink, take a drink. Come on. Okay, thanks for calling me out. I don't like doing annoying things because that's something that you don't realize when you're on camera. If you got a weird thing where you like to mess around with the sink. Anyways, so it was, I don't know, it was a lot of money. And I thought I had saved enough to pay for taxes that year, and it was not. It cleaned all my savings out for the entire year just to pay taxes. And I said, I got to do something different. This is, it's not worth it. I got to make twice as much money just to keep what I made last year and not give it all away. That's about 48%. If you are not an S corporation where I live, you're giving away 40 to 48% of your income to either state tax, federal tax, and your FICA tax, local taxes, those bloodsuckers. I did move out of one city into another city, so they won't tax me as bad. But it was 45, 48% gone. Like, phew, there you go. Your bank account is zero because you just gave it all to the tax man. 3 Modelo's? Well, I'm on my third Corona, but I keep drinking them so slow. I keep leaving a little bit in the bottom. So we've had text questions. We had a question from Juan about charging in his first year. And again, I got to stress, it's not about the money. You're building a reputation. That's another thing. Building that reputation and those loyal customers. That's where the long-term job security is. I'm not getting lit. He'll be telling us where he lives now. No. This is Corona. That's a good one. All right, somebody asked, the second time it's come up. Should I offer customers discount for cash payment? That really depends on your financial situation. If you are starting out, Sheba's here, and you need that money, and you don't want to give it away, you got to do what you got to do. So you can try to incentivize them paying you in cash so that you just keep that just to survive. You know, pay your rent, go down to pay the landlord in $100 bills. And trust me, I've been there. That's how I got, I don't want to say too much, but I paid my slip fees in Fort Lauderdale over a decade ago in $100 bills that I got from people that paid me in $100 bills. So it really depends on your financial situation. As I said earlier, personally, I need money that's already been taxed so I can legitimately put it somewhere to invest, whether it's paying off our rental house or giving it over to Edward Jones and say, make me some money. But you just can't give the mortgage company cash, and you can't invest $100 bills to your mortgage broker or your financial manager. Okay, that's another thing. Rob, RAS. So they can. I believe this is safe because I can't give away everything I've done, but there were times way back when I would spend an entire day driving to like banks and cashing personal checks from customers and getting that cash. So, and if it's under $10,000, it's not reported to the IRS. I don't want to spend too much time on how to avoid paying taxes. But for people who are in that situation and you need the money, that's the method I would go with, is get their check. But then there's these online only bank accounts where they write them out of an investment account, and you can't go to an actual physical bank and cash it. What's that? Jim asks, when I was working and just filing under my Social Security number, was that a sole proprietorship? I think it was an LLC. It was a long time ago. And I was not maximizing my tax deductions. Did you just took a drug? I didn't just take a drug. Any other questions? This thing still on? We've gone quiet. There we go. Here, oh, there they come in. Oh, Jesus. There must have been a delay or something. What is your first name? What? Yeah, so back to the YouTube thing. If you're making big bucks and you can afford a house in a gated community, then you put your information out there. But like I said, this YouTube thing, it made 75 grand last year. It's not worth the risk of putting out that personal information. I don't have gates around my house or anything like that. So I just don't put the personal stuff out there. This is not really a vlog channel. It's about self-employment in home services. And this channel here specifically is less about the labor and more about the money. Keeping the money, making the money, what to do with it. I highly suggest you do not go out and buy a sailboat. Don't go buy a boat. Let's see here, I'm reading. This room, we are in the salon, the saloon of the boat. We're not in a room, there's no weed in here. Bust out another 1,000. Jesus. If I well, I don't want to talk about boats, but don't go buy a boat. Dry dock life, that's right. So I spend it's $3,600 a year in storage, just for this boat. Which really isn't that much, but big boats like this are a maintenance nightmare, especially in a salty environment. They just start disintegrating. You have to constantly work on them, upgrading, polishing, cleaning, replacing. I've got lots of videos on this boat. It's better to know someone with a boat. You sound like one of my good friends. Now, if I lived like in the neighborhood, if I lived down here in Florida, that's a little different. I'd get more use out of it. But I don't live anywhere near this boat. I like big boats. I like big boats too. That I wanted to talk about the why and how I got to this entrepreneur mindset of the money thing. And that happened over a decade ago in Fort Lauderdale. And I was surrounded by the haves and have-nots. And I can see both sides. There's very little middle class over in Fort Lauderdale, right on the coast. And I was surrounded by wealth, lots and lots of wealth. Was fascinated by the history behind these old geezers that had all these giant yachts, and how they made their, $1 million is nothing these days. They're tens of millions of dollars. And that's what I was like, man, these guys, they got it real easy. They don't have a 30-year-old boat that they gotta, be, ass up in the air, head down into the bilge, sweating, covered in grease, just trying to change the water pump or whatever. So that's where it started as far as being an entrepreneur. There's a big difference First million is the hardest. I've already got there. We're going on. I don't want to give too much away, but it is. The first million is the hardest. I'm like massaging my faucet now. Saving your money is it's real hard. The more you make, the more you spend. Isn't that like a law of money, law of finance? I never hire employees. Never. First million is the hardest. It is. And what's crazy, and you could say the first 30,000 is the hardest. But to go from 30,000 to 60,000 in your saving happens like that. Then to double it and double it, it's like a snowball effect when you get in that mindset. Stupidest thing I bought? Ooh. This boat is pretty damn expensive. Not just an initial purchase price, but all the money that's gone into it. But it was a huge motivating factor and a huge accomplishment to have a nice big sailboat like this. I don't know what the dumbest thing I've ever bought was. Now, biggest mistake in the handyman business. Jim, this is a good question. Do you want to go with like an actual assembly construction mistake or a business mistake? Like treating a customer differently than I should have? What type of, what direction you want that to go, Jim? Jake Jones, the boat is for sale. Yeah, that's the reason I'm here, is I'm selling this boat. Again, I didn't want to give out too much personal information, but yeah, the boat's for sale. The sea trial is Friday. The marine surveyor shows up tomorrow, and it's a 2-day marine survey. It can drive me crazy, but the sea trial is Friday. That's the deal. And what am I going to do with this money? Hopefully it sells. Yes, hopefully it sells. I'm going to go out and buy myself a new pickup truck. Some truck nuts on the bottom of it. Oh, this is a good question. Rob R.A.S. I was doing the math on inflation and the value of the dollar, and I think 15 million is what I'm going to need to retire. 15 million is going to be worth about 9 million by the time I get to be 65, 70 years old. The Dodge 3500. No, actually, when I do get to buying a truck, I will get a new truck in, I'm not sure if it definitely within close to a year from now. Hold on, what's going on here? I'm trying to. It's weird, like the questions come in spurts. Good financial decision to sell the damn boat. Yes, it is. Doing a $7,000 100K service on a wife's car right now. It's a great $7,000 service. Oh, I don't know what that means. What am I going to invest in? Lots of different things. Right now, I want to focus on real estate. So my goal is to pay off the rental house within 2-3 years. Would I ever go back to being an employee? Man, some days I actually think about it, because I didn't have much work ethic when I was a superintendent. I was your average employee. But after the 15 million has nothing to do with the size of this boat. Someone asked a question about how much money do you want when you want to retire. I said we as a family can comfortably retire on 15 million. Today's money. And when I'm 65 years old, 15 million will be worth around 90 or 9 million. I lost my train of thought. Someone asked a question. Truck brand. Oh, whatever, go back to being an employee. This will, when you guys do this, you'll go through this battle, an internal battle. Is it worth it? I work my ass off. I pay a ton in taxes. I don't have vacation. I don't have health insurance. I don't have any sort of pension plan or retirement 401k. No benefits. But at this stage, I can say no. But I have gone through it many years. There was one year, I can't remember which year it was. It was a tough winter, and I'm like, ugh. And it was stressful. And I was ready to start. And I backed out of it. Back as a superintendent. And the interview went well. There were several interviews. But it came down to they needed to know that basically you're on call 24/7. And this was for a commercial construction superintendent. And I'm like, well, I like to go elk hunting for the entire month of September. How's that going to work into your schedule? And then I go to Wyoming, I go to Florida. Yeah, I go to Texas hog hunting. So I'm going to need about 90 days vacation my first year. Of course, I didn't say that to him, but in my head, this is what I was going through. There's just no way to be an employee and get 90 days off a year. Derek, I think that's your name. What percentage of your money do you plan to invest every year? God, like all of it? Like I am so tight. My wife and I, the trip to Hawaii was kind of I don't know. I don't know if it was really an ultimatum or not, but it's like she needed to see me. Basically, that's it. She said, I never see you. So basically that was a way for her to see me. But almost all of it. Like I don't buy anything. I don't buy clothes. I have, an old truck. The only thing I spend money on is tools, and that's a tax deduction, and it's reinvesting into the business. Here's another thing. I don't know if I told you guys this. Maybe I did. I sold some tools recently that weren't making any money. The wood lathe, I sold it for, I don't know, like $25 more than I made, or that I purchased it for. And my vertical belt sander, I also sold that too. So the tools that I'm focusing on, the tools that make me money, that make the job easier to get a higher quality outcome. Somebody asked, how am I investing? We have investment accounts at Fidelity and, I said it earlier, I can't remember. What is it? Edward Jones. Yeah, that's another one that we use. And we have a rental house, and I want to gather some more rental houses before retirement. So we'll have the stock market, and then we'll have real estate. Oh yeah, never go out for lunch. That's one of the biggest mistakes. Is I see a lot of these other guys. They go out for an hour a day, 45 minutes a day, to lunch. Now, maybe 5-minute break a day is what I do. Lately, it's been answering comments. I bring the laptop with me to work and eat a sandwich. A lot of times, I don't even sit down. I'll come to the truck. I'll open the door, open the cooler, take 4 or 5 bites, swig a Gatorade, grab what I need from the trailer, and go back into the house. The guy that I worked for before, because I was a superintendent, I worked for some other guys as kind of an independent carpenter. I don't know what you would call me. But he did remodels, And every single day, we'd go out for lunch. And we only worked like 8 hours a day. I was like, man, we're not getting any work done. And it got to the point where it was a roof job, and it was out of town. And he only wanted to work 8 hours a day. I'm like, listen, man, I'm out of town. I want to get back home. Let's finish this job. He actually did pay me by the hour. And I didn't care. I wanted to get this damn roof done. So I'm cracking the whip on the guy that I'm working for, saying, hey, the sun isn't down yet. Let's do some more roofing. But anyways, back to the topic. Need to put a sandwich in my tool vest? Yeah. Upstate New York. I know a lot about upstate New York and the real estate market in upstate New York. Who just said that? You can get them for dirt cheap. You can literally go out and buy a house for like $12,000, $15,000 in upstate New York. Where did that guy go? In fact, that's where I started, is in upstate New York. Oh, God dang it. Stretching out here. Gotta get comfortable. These sailboats aren't all that comfortable. You can get dirt cheap houses in upstate New York. There's other shit-stained towns in the country that you can get houses dirt cheap. But the property tax. So a $140,000 house in upstate New York, you will pay $4,500 a year in property tax. And that also depends, it's not state property tax, it's your local property tax. So maybe that's where in upstate. I don't want to give it away. On the Pennsylvania border, like a big university there. There's a lot of local property taxes, school taxes, tax, New York State. So you're going to pay $4,000 a year just in freaking taxes. Doesn't work well for a rental property. People don't have much money there. You might be able to rent a house out for $800 a month. What is that? $9,800 a year, and you pretty much have to give half of it away to the government. So even though you can get your property cheap, you don't get to keep much of your rental income, and the home values don't appreciate at all in upstate New York. Like, it's going to take you a freaking lifetime to there, wait, was that? Yeah, I'm paying, maybe I know this guy, Joe. Yeah, I'm paying $4,200 and it's cheap. And I'm paying $12,000 here a year in New York City. $12,000 a year in taxes, property taxes? Woo! North Seattle, $340K. I got a feeling, I'm lucky that my property taxes, no rum tonight, just a warm piss Corona. I don't know. I think they're only like $2,000 a year for like a $640,000 house. Let's see here. Miami, 2008 property tax, $5,600 per year. Homeowner. Oh yeah, Florida down here. You got to have insurance for all that hurricane stuff. There you go. It's almost 11 grand a year before you even get out the door. Insurance for working. That's another good question that's come up earlier. But hell, we're at 2 hours and 50 minutes. Let's just make it to 3. It's not difficult to get insurance as a handyman or as a remodeling company. You just have to find a broker and say, I need it. It's not that expensive. A general liability commercial policy is what you need. And as I said before, that it gets narrowed down from there on the type of work that you do. Every year, they'll do an audit. Maybe not every year. An audit, they don't look at money. They look at what type of work you've done to make sure that the policy that you are paying for matches up and covers you for the work that you're doing. So $1,200 a year for a handyman, easy. Why do I work alone? This industry, oh well, all right, I'll just tell you. I couldn't keep someone employed permanently, and I can't afford to pay them a good wage because I need that money. So if I'm not going to pay someone $20-25 an hour when I can keep that money, just working a little extra harder, a little extra longer. I am backed up, but I'm at the perfect schedule that I like. In order to pay that person and that person's workman's comp insurance and all the bullshit that comes along with having an employee, I've got to do a lot more work. And then it gets to the point where, what if things slow down a little bit? Well, I got to fire them, lay them off. People who just work part-time, I don't want to be around. This is like the best economy in history, the lowest unemployment rate. So right now, if there is a guy that is willing to work for $15 an hour, all willy-nilly, oh, I need you this week. I could use it for 2 weeks. And then he goes back to the trailer park and drinks some Coronas. He's probably not the type of person I want to be around or bring into my customer's home. That's the thing, is good people cost money. And I haven't gotten to that balancing point yet where, and I don't think I ever will, where I can pick up the quantity to pay for that person and everything that's also attached to having an employee. Hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. It's not cheap to have a good employee. Good employees are not cheap. I'm kind of cheap, and I'd rather just stick it out, work a couple Saturdays and Sundays, work a couple 10-hour days, and not have to deal with all the shit that comes along with having an employee. I hire Mexicans at Home Depot. Yeah, I don't want to be around Mexicans from Home Depot. My customers don't want Mexicans that hang out in front of Home Depot with a sign in their house around their babies. So no Mexicans from Home Depot coming to work with me. Nothing against Mexicans. What does that last guy say? You can't afford expensive labor. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could, but I'd take a pay cut. I would take a pay cut. Build that wall. You have to be the best teacher and teach them the bare bones. Any other questions out there? I went through this one a little bit faster than the rest. Here we go. What's Rick asking? My issue is I want my hands on it. And Rick, that's a good point. Most of my work comes by way of people who want me to do the work. I know a lot of people can do the work that I do. It's not rocket science for sure, but they're hiring me. They're not hiring the company. It's that's the self-employed one-man operation type business is you are being hired to do the work. And I don't know if I want to jump into something that big to get into that amount, that large quantity work. Smoking Chiba 420. Are you rejoining us? You've been gone for a while. Jake Jones, do I watch The Samurai Carpenter? I do. I haven't in a while. No, I don't know what else to say. I'm thinking about his videos. They're valuable, but I don't know. He's kind of got a bad attitude, I think. But as a growing YouTuber, I can kind of see where his bad attitude comes from, and that's, to be a great YouTuber, you have to stop reading the comments, apparently. And I'm really sticking it out. A lot of people stop reading comments at like 20, 30,000 subscribers. I mean, some people poke their head in, but like the big YouTubers, you won't see them commenting on every video. Yeah, Smoking Chibi. He is full of himself, but I mean, he's got skills. You have to know that. He's had some bad dealings as a social influencer. Hopefully I don't come off and talk the way he does. I never want to sound like him. And please feel free to call me out if I ever sound like a condescending dick. How did that happen? What's that one? Oh, at Handyman. Similar business in Florida. We started adding in-house design. Customers love the option and pay for it. I wonder who is this? Dawson. That's Dawson. What part of Florida? Florida's tricky. They have a lot of laws, and that's where I worked for another guy in Florida, over in Fort Lauderdale, and man, that's where I really learned business. Well, a part of the business, and how corrupt it is, and how, I mean, there's a lot of corruption in South Florida. I mean, that's how the place was built. But we were doing stuff like crazy stuff. The whole permitting thing and getting around that and inspections. There's a whole racket on the building department side of the business. And I don't know, some of you guys probably heard from the last ones. I did an internship with the building department when I was a senior in college, and I got to see firsthand everything that went on behind the scenes in the building department. And it's a racket. All right, where do we go? Smoking Cheap. DFW is good. Dallas, Fort Worth, I don't know what that is. Yes, Miami permitting is the biggest. Oh my God, Miami? Whew, that's worse than Fort Lauderdale. Look, I got pulled over. Where was I? Golden Beach. Driving from Miami to Hollywood Beach. And that's kind of in between Miami. And holy shit, I had Colorado license plates on at the time. And the guys were like, had their guns drawn. And it was crazy. I'm like in a pair of board shorts. I just got back from Miami Beach, going back to the Sailboat, and they wouldn't even come up to the car. They're on the loudspeaker. You in the vehicle. No idea. I don't know if the plates were expired or not. It was a long time ago. I just hadn't gotten Florida plates yet. But anyways, they were like, do you have drugs in the car? Do you have any weapons? And I'm like, what? No. And it was just weird, and I don't know why, but yeah, everybody's a criminal pretty much in Miami. Unless you're driving a Rolls Royce. Andy, I think you would even be a criminal if you're driving a Rolls Royce down there. Kingpin of the drug something or other. Now this is way before YouTube. This is so far back. I don't know when this was. 10, 12 years ago. Okay, DFW is a carpentry channel. Is it woodworking? I do watch the Wood Whisperer. Has anybody watched him? I just watched him build some cabinets. And I went to his workshop to see what he does for a miter saw. And he does not have a sliding miter saw. He just has a regular DeWalt chop saw. Ugh, God, that last bit is nasty. Ugh. Finish carpentry. So, I guess high-end door casing, baseboard, crown molding. That's kind of the... I dabble in the finish carpentry, but I'm not skilled in it. If you take enough time and go slow enough, you can get decent results. So the video that I got to edit is the crown molding. First I got to seam that crown. I don't know why this designer did not just order a section of crown that would fit between the two cabinets. There has to be a damn seam. They only sent 90-inch pieces of wood. I have no idea. Or the crown. It's a flat crown, not the slanted one. So I had to seam it, and that's going to be part of the next video. And I get it installed, and I glue certain pieces together and slide them in and show you how I cook the inside corners. I have one office. An office girl. Everybody needs an office girl. An estimator. And you do the work. That's interesting. But you're going to try market this year. That market does everything, man. It can be a little overwhelming at first because it does so much, but you have to use their customer service. That's what sold me on them, is the customer service. Oh, faux show. Okay, Finish Carpentry TV. I picked up some tips from him. Before using the Market app, I used Excel. Actually, I got too much personal information on it. In the future, I will show you the old school way that I did it with just an Excel spreadsheet. And my brain and writing things down in a million different notebooks and on whiteboard, keeping track of customers and a schedule and a calendar and stuff. Joe, no customer has ever tried to rip me off. I've never had a negative experience with a customer. That's a very good question. The last one, AKFSK, blah, 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 34. The housing market. I don't know what it's going to do. I see it kind of flattening out a little bit. Houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. There's more negotiation going on. I don't know if it's ever going to like a house will get to, say, $100,000, and it's going to tank and go down to be only sell for, 2 years later, going to sell for less than what they bought it for. I don't think it's going to go that far, but I do see a flattening. It has to flatten. It can't go up forever. There's cycles. Have you ever been hit on by a customer? Yes, lots of times. But I want to be ready if 2008 ever happens again. I am going to buy everything. I'm going to buy every freaking house I can find. Texas is stable. Depends on where you are. All right. The interest rates, now, Rob, raising interest rates, it sucks for people trying to get a loan, but it's good for people who have invested money because higher interest rates mean higher returns. So I think that's what it means on different types of investments. Buyer's market. God, I wish it was buyer's market. Okay, I'm scrolling. 2028 to 2020, major depression. Okay. We just fixed old D.R. Horton houses. So I have God, who built it? Richmond? And I'm going to remodel the entire thing. It's a 1994. And you're going to be surprised. I'm going to do the kitchens. I'm going to do the kitchen, the bathrooms, popcorn ceiling. But particularly want to show you the bathrooms and the tile that's in these bathrooms. So many people lose their mind about waterproofing showers. So 94. How old's a 1994 house? Was it 20? Okay, 20 some years old, 24, 28 years old house. I'm going to show you what a 28-year-old shower looks like, built by Richmond Homes, that has like zero waterproofing, no waterproofing membrane. I doubt it will even have mesh tape on the seams. And I got a feeling, I've looked at it once, that there's going to be zero to very little evidence of water intrusion at the tile to tub seam. Zero waterproofing. It's going to look perfect. People lose their minds over shower waterproofing. Yeah, no mesh tape, no rubber membrane, no Ditra, no none of that. And I looked at it. I tapped on the walls. It's solid. But I'm gonna tear the whole thing out for you. We're probably gonna put in a new tub because I think one of them has a chip. We're gonna do new floor tile. It's got linoleum. It's got an old original builder grade vanity, Formica top with a drop-in white bowl. So that's coming up in the next years. You agree, double E? I don't know what that means. No mesh tape. Yeah, no mesh tape, Jake Jones. There's a lot of sales in that waterproofing, especially on the YouTube. People waterproof these things like swimming pools. That's a good question. Somehow S. Dawson gets a highlighted thing when they message me. I put a message up here. Yeah, Austin is a lost cause. Used to be a great place. My favorite type of work to do. Favorite type would be some sort of woodworking without a tight schedule that pays a lot of money. So that doesn't exist. Something where I actually have to use a skill set or challenge myself would be the type of work I like to do, but it's also not necessarily the most profitable work. What is the biggest profit? What's weird is privacy fences has been paying quite well. It's real easy, not quite backbreaking, carrying the cement bags and stuff like that, but privacy fences for some reason sticks out as making some decent money. Like $1,000 days. Let's see here, all the things they... Okay, so I gotta see what Smoking Cheap is saying. I gotta scroll up. Builder Bob. Hey, I do handyman work around the city. Ooh, what is the poorest city in Pennsylvania? Oh, Scranton. Oh, there's more poor than Scranton. Not Harrisburg, I think, is doing pretty good. But there is a lot of poor cities. Tiny. I've driven through Pennsylvania. dozens of times. And there's a lot of tiny, like, hole-in-the-wall towns in Pennsylvania. Okay. I want to see Bob's. Where's Bob's from? Poorest city in Pennsylvania. Scrolling. Oh, he hasn't responded yet. How's the dog? Polly's good. I took her on this boat several years ago when she was a puppy. Tiny little thing. And, yeah, we sailed all up and down the coast. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Where is that? What region is Johnstown? I used to go water skiing a lot in Pennsylvania. I can't remember what the heck the lake was. Any other water skiers out there? Sam Q, do I ever work for builders? I was employed by a builder, and then I had done some work with another guy a long time ago. We were kind of punch guys for one builder. What builder was it? I can't remember what it was. It was, but the thing is we knew we knew the area manager because we had worked with them. So we went self-employed type thing. This other dude, he just changed builders, so he paid us a lot to do simple punch work on these new houses. I've also installed cabinets for new construction. It just didn't work out. And from what I learned from that big recession is everybody that was in new home construction was done. They were out of business. People who focused on remodeling older homes and had a clientele build up of homes, customers. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm thinking about too many things at one time. They did okay. They survived and could still bring in an income. But the people who worked for new builders, the new builders are the first people that get on the chopping block when the economy goes in a tank. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I'm not familiar with that. How about Montrose, Pennsylvania? I don't even know if that's big enough to be a town. Polly is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Privacy fence. East of Pittsburgh, middle of nowhere. My grandfather retired to Potter County, Pennsylvania. Middle of nowhere also. Spent a lot of time there. Oh, Jake Jones. More talk about that guy that would come in and fix scratches on the new homes that we were building. Surface repair technician is, I guess, the niche. Surface repair tech. Surface repair, period. And I watched him. He had this little pen with like a butane teeny torch that would melt wax in different colors to repair chipped granite countertops. They could repair Formica countertops, tubs, chipped tile, any sort of wood repair, and it just disappear. You wouldn't be able to see it. You'd have to market yourself. That's something you could do out of a pickup truck. You wouldn't need a tool trailer. I would get the whole trailer wrapped just for marketing. But that's something that's interested me. And you can go to like seminars. A lot of them are held in Vegas on using different products, using different epoxy products for different repairs, on how to do this, mainly on the tub repairs for those types of things. But if you ever done body work on a car, very similar. You're filling and you're matching the paint. They have like a palette of different paint, different waxes. When I was closing houses, like the day before a walkthrough, I'd have a whole little tackle box with all different waxes, different color waxes, and I'd go through mainly the kitchen and the railing, and just do all the little woodworking touch-ups because the baseboards and doors were mostly painted. Um, but yeah, that's a cool job, and I see it as, I don't know if it's a flooded market, but you would definitely have to advertise yourself. Yeah, you can fix anything. They would use different sheens of lacquers. They would literally spray lacquer from a spray can onto a Formica countertop and somehow match it. It's kind of like, what? Where the heck did it just go? Rating. Let's see. Or incorporate this into your handyman business. I don't know what that was. Oh, so you do punch work is good. So the very last job I had as a superintendent was in a downtown area, building these, I call them brownstones. The rooftop had a deck. They were right down the street from the baseball stadium. And we had a punch guy that we brought in because the market was crashing and we couldn't get people to come back to do, I don't know, to finish their work. So we hired this guy, a white guy that thought he was an Indian, and he wore a full freaking chest plate with bones on it. Had a ponytail, earrings with feathers. It was crazy. But he was the job site's punch guy. Very good skill set. Just punch work. Picking up the slack where the subs didn't finish, or we couldn't get them to come back, or they went out of business. Elizabeth Warren, she's gonna run for president with a freaking headdress. But it was, but he was like he said he was 1/20th or something, but he had a full name, and we called him. I don't want to say him because you can find this guy on the internet, but you didn't call him Joe or Bob. It was like Sitting Bull, Sitting Bull by fire. Can you come to the unit this, that, and the other? That's funny. What time is it here? I don't know if I reset my watch. Hold on. Keep your pants on. Okay, yeah, it's only 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. We're cool. Really? D.R. Horton stock cut in half for 2018? It was always fascinating how those builders worked. But man, I could tell you some serious D.R. Horton stories when the market crashed and how they went through their layoffs. Oh man. Was that my phone? No, it was my phone. Smoking. Okay. All right, apparently I gotta go. Can't be hanging out all night. I gotta clean this place up. The buyers or the surveyors should be here in the morning. So this video should process and just be a regular YouTube video. I know, very unprofessional. So if there were questions that I didn't answer that you still have, leave them in the comments once this video goes up, and we'll do this again I don't know, in a week or so, and we'll focus on those questions. But the wife is running out of patience, so see ya.